Hi guys, this is Catching Up with the Camdens, and we are going to do some rewatches today. I'm Mackenzie Rosman.
I'm David Gallagher.
And I'm Beverly Mitchell. And what episode are we doing today? Because I think today we are actually on the same page talking about the same episode, which was not last week.
Maybe.
I paid for this
Maybe.
class.
I mean, I don't know. The jury's still out. What episode are we doing? Mac, you take the lead. So that way, if I made a mistake, I'll just roll with it.
We are doing America's Most Wanted.
Okay. And the real one.
The real one,
Right.
yes. Yeah. I think. Maybe.
Not the one that we thought we watched, but the title had no.
No. Yeah, we all, 2/3 of us watched the incorrect episode yesterday, but we can blame that on Paramount Plus, right?
Okay, so should we dive in? I remember a lot about this episode. So this
episode was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
This is one of the episodes that the show refers back to more than almost anything else.
Yeah.
Right? This is the infamous, Mary's downfall episode.
It's where it begins.
In serious trouble. And this was marked as we should have known. Remember the time she stole the cup. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this episode, we should just dive in. And I have to say, I absolutely love that it starts with Simon and Ruthie and the Star-Spangled Banner kind of giving us this insight into how mad Eric gets when somebody doesn't know the Star-Spangled Banner.
Yeah, Eric.
It's angrier than a sports team losing. He is very upset.
It's definitely a big pet peeve of his, for sure.
Totally.
I think it's the first time we see Eric kind of snap, too.
Eric's on his old man, fist at the sky. Kids these days, it's very funny.
And I also love that everyone knows in the family that, oh gosh,
I just want to know
Here
why
goes
Ruthie's...
old grandpa ranting about the national anthem again.
Why does Ruthie have a nanny in this that we don't introduce at all and never see again?
Was it a nanny or a babysitter?
Is that
It's a baby. It's just a
the same
babysitter.
thing? Yeah, but
no, because a
I don't
nanny
know.
I think is a nanny is someone who you have
babysitter
all the time.
Yeah. I guess I
You
also
could have a
picture
babysitter
babysitters as
once.
being teenage.
I don't think you qualify as a nanny unless you're a regular.
Well, she
you know?
seemed
you're
more
on payroll.
nanny age.
Yeah.
Not she
Nannies
wasn't a
are on
teenager.
payroll, okay? Nannies get vacations,
Whatever.
don't
Well,
they? Okay.
I like this lady. I wish
it's
she were
also
more
it's the minister.
Nannies pay taxes, Mac.
Yeah. I think it was just a babysitter. It was but that's at the end. We'll get to the babysitter at the end.
Okay.
Also, David, I have a question. And does Shauna have something to say about cooking oil being in the fridge with Annie?
She does. Yeah. The first thing, and one of the only things that Shauna said out loud while we were watching the episode was, why is she keeping the oil in the fridge? And I was like, I don't know. And I looked at her for a sec, and she looked at me like, you're not supposed to keep oil in the fridge. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I was like, because a crew set this up for her, and the crew doesn't cook either, I guess.
I was laughing because I was like, we found one of Annie's downfalls, because Annie can fix a car, can fix anything, but then you watch her cook and you're like, not her strongest suit. This
Right.
is not
neither
her
parent
jam.
cooks.
It
basically.
was pitched that this is another one of the things that she does well, but clearly set up by people who
don't do it well. Well, because she was also, did you also see that she was putting the pancake batter on the pan that was not on the stove?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
She did it
Shauna,
Before.
Shauna was.
I was like,
was,
what
first,
is happening? I'm
the flour.
The whole time the cooking was happening, Shauna was like, "What is happening? Why is she doing that?" And I was like, "I don't know.
That's how I feel
what's
every
wrong
time
with
I
it.
see a horse in
know."
something.
I was like, imagine if I set her up to do this scene. That's basically what happened.
I mean, but most people know how to make pancakes. I don't know. I was something I definitely hung up on for a second. I was like, what is happening and why are we doing it this way? But I definitely had a good
Shauna
giggle.
About 2 seconds to like perk up and be like, what is happening? What is she doing? Why is this happening?
Do you just remember like how gross those plates of food looked like at the end of the day, of those like long, like they were always just like these ketchup smeared plates, and it was so gross.
Well, because again, we've talked about it, like food scenes, it's literally just pushing food around the plate so that you don't have to actually eat it.
And the turkey that's like cooked with a blowtorch, get raw on the inside.
I mean, this is what happens when you have your prop department make you food, you know.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's not like it's not like the caterers come in to make food for the scenes. They do not.
The caterers. That was the best part. One of the best parts.
So the next step I have is, again, we're talking about the national anthem, and Eric trying to say, like, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm not in a bad mood. And everyone knows, like, you're in a bad mood.
Do either of you know all of the words to the national anthem?
I mean, I think I do. But don't put me on the spot.
I've never forgotten them because Dawn taught me them so well. I've been able to sing it for the rest of my life thanks to that episode.
This was the moment that in IRL, Mackenzie learned the national anthem.
It really is.
Just to avoid Eric's ire.
I do love this storyline between the two of you, and I love Simon's way of teaching. It's so cute.
It's really cute.
And it's so sweet, and I love like Ruthie's pushback of like, well, why are we saying that word? Why are we saying perilous when we could just say dangerous? And you just try to change it. Like, I love.
And you just change it. Yeah. Like, you can't change it.
Yeah.
It is.
And you're like, why not?
Again, it's in my opinion, little Mackenzie is just the show stealer in all of these scenes at all times. Like, you are so incredibly cute. It's fun for me to watch back and see see little us doing our shtick together, you know?
And I love also this scene when Simon's trying to explain hell and Ruthie saying it's a bad word.
Oh, I know.
And then getting caught saying you're going to hell. And then, of course, that is when Eric walks by.
And then Simon tries to explain it away, and Eric says, that's not what I heard, or something like that.
And Ruthie's just like totally unhelpful.
I'm guilty of using a bad example.
I know, I'm guilty of using a bad example, and I think that it's so cute and it's so Simon because it's actually so Simon, such a mature way to say it too, and saying like, I am guilty, but I was only guilty of using a bad example. Yes. I wasn't actually saying it, so I'm not technically in
Simon
trouble.
Simon being already good at his legal defense skills. Yeah. Then we get into the bit about Lucy's paper that she has due, and this is kind of your whole story for this episode, right? Is that you have this big paper due, and you are like your head's not in it, and you're trying to figure out how you can turn in this paper like quickly at the last minute.
You know what's funny is I think that this is also a very typical middle school problem. It's that like learning how to juggle it all. She has her boyfriend. Yes. She has her other admirer, Dwight. She has cheerleading. She doesn't want to get left out. She's mad. She has her middle child tantrum because she doesn't get to go with Matt and Mary, and Keisha and John, and she's mad about that. And she gets in trouble with the teacher, which is like kind of a big deal, and you watch her kind of like squirm because, you know, she's this people pleaser who wants to do everything right and puts way too much on her plate and is terrible about time management, which I think is also a big lesson in middle school, which is what I'm dealing with Kenzie right now, which is
and also the classic like all like when you're first starting to learn how to juggle your school life, the whole like doing it at the last minute when you finally decide to do the thing you've been needing to do, you know, it's been put off all the way to the day before.
It's funny because I I didn't
I'm still in
think
middle
it was
school then, apparently.
something that you have to teach someone. I was like, of course you do it when it's assigned.
Yeah.
And here I'm talking to Kenzie because she's in middle school, and I'm like, Kenzie, the moment it's assigned, you do it. You don't wait till the day before to do it. Like, that's not like when she was writing it in her planner, she was writing the assignment down on the day it was due. I'm like, no, too late. What are we doing? This is not working. And I'm such like, I mean, obviously I'm a little wound tight
Well,
and have.
your child has a planner. First of all, I'd like to highlight this that you've said that. That's incredible.
I mean, you guys.
My child
guys,
has no
like-
such planner.
You guys,
There's
like,
a huge
I'm like,
age
very
gap between
serious
the two
with
of
my
them,
planner.
okay?
Like,
I know we know how serious you are with your planner.
I
but-
have like it's color coded.
Do you have
Everybody
tabs
has
and
a
stickers?
color.
But your kid got
I
other
do, of
things for
course I do.
Christmas, right?
Of course.
I
Here's
mean,
my
yeah.
planner.
Okay,
You want to see?
Okay, good. As long as
I
it
wanna
wasn't
see.
just a nice planner.
It has
Is
one
that a
line
blank piece of paper?
writing on it, and look, it's really.
What does it say, Mac?
I circled Friday.
Circle.
And it says-
Friday.
Circled Friday. Don't know what for, but
Oh
Friday
my
though.
God.
Something's happening.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, yes, I have a
It's in
planner.
here.
Yes. And also I can relate to like Lucy getting like overwhelmed because she's trying to take on too many things and she's trying to do
That's right.
too much. And I think Lucy and Beverly are the same.
I also want to say I'm also in my own way starting this lesson with Lily, and Lily's of course in grade school. Lily has just started second grade, but get like now that we're back in school and we're trying to swing back into homework and the routine and everything, and I have to remind her. She gets very disappointed on Monday when I'm like, "Hey, it's Monday. You got homework for the week. We're doing it today."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No," and I'm like, "Look, you're gonna thank me every
Yes.
day for the rest
Yeah.
of the week. You
When you get
don't
it
want to
done.
do it at the end of the week when you have a half day, when you want to play, when it's the weekend. That's not when you do it. You do it now."
Hey, can
And then
Ophelia
I
come
have-
live
We're
with
good
you
for the
when
week.
she's around that age? Because I don't know if I'm capable of that important lesson.
Meanwhile, Hutton is the opposite, who never comes home with homework. And I'm like, Hutton, how do you not have homework? And he does it in class. So and I'm like, are you
Nice.
supposed to be doing it? And he's like,
He's
that's
like,
not the
"Nothing's
point.
really
The point
going
is
on
it's
anyway."
done. He's like, it doesn't matter. The point is the homework is done. I'm like, no. The point is, are you learning
He
at
just Jedi's
school?
you. He's like,
he's
there's
like, "No,
nothing
I
to
got
say
it."
here. Don't worry about it.
He's like, Mom, it's done. So I have two very different kids. And who knows what Maisel's going to be like. We keep asking her about her homework, and she keeps being like, I'm in kindergarten. I don't have
Yeah, there is no
I'm
homework.
like- we also had two incredible guest stars in this. Well, actually, we had a lot of guest stars, great guest stars. But we had Gabrielle Union and Chaz Lamar Shepherd, who, of course, we love when the Hamiltons come to be a part of the show. It's so fun.
I like that they just want to like they're just along for the ride as
They're
like
there to support.
something
Yeah.
funny to say. It's almost not like it's kind of like support. It's also kind of like just having popcorn and watching. Like they
Yeah.
just
yeah,
want
exactly.
they're just there for the show.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. They're there to watch the train wreck.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
there to be like, listen,
With full enjoyment and smiles.
we
yeah.
know what's going to happen. And if anyone doesn't remember what this whole episode is about, it's all about, which is interesting also, that Mary has to steal a glass from the
Well, anything.
varsity. Anything. Has
Anything,
to steal
yeah.
something that says varsity to
So
be
there's
accepted into the basketball team, because every sports team does it. So it's
Yeah.
also, again, this peer pressure.
Or is it the basketball team does it?
No, it's everyone.
It's
All
like
the
a
sports
hazing.
teams do it.
It's
sort of.
yeah, it's
It's like a hazing thing, right?
Yeah.
And to be clear, the varsity is a little like doo-wop diner place
Yeah.
that is in town that's called the Varsity. So
Yeah.
their cups say Varsity, and I don't know, presumably other things from there say Varsity. So the teams at the school, as a hazing thing, they want all the new members of the sports team to go steal something from the diner for the event, for the what?
For the banquet.
For the banquet.
And they're using the Hamilton kids as a cover up that they're going out to dinner with them.
Right.
With full knowledge that this is what's going to go on. And
yes, everyone's in on it.
Yeah, Matt's there to protect Mary and to be the big brother because Matt's the ultimate big brother.
But it's a complete open secret, to everybody in town almost.
Yeah.
Like the diner knows this happens. The school knows this happens. People who aren't on the sports teams know that this happens. Yeah.
Except for Eric Camden.
Of course.
Yep, apparently. The one thing he is unaware of. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we still have Lucy trying to deal with her paper, and she's just, she's on the struggle bus. And, of course, Mary feels bad for, 1 minute. This is, probably the only minute Mary feels bad for Lucy because she's going to the diner to go steal a cup, and Lucy's mad that she doesn't get to come. So Mary hands her old paper on the crucible and says, you can look at this for, quotes or insights because she can't get to a library.
She gives you the way, the method of cheating that is the one that kind of works, which is take this paper, ingest it, rewrite it, and use the same quotes, but write your own paper. But here's the quotes. Here's here's the outline. Here you go.
And what does Lucy do? Lucy doesn't do any of those things. Lucy just copies the paper, basically.
Puts her name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is the teacher not?
It just runs a line through Mary Camden, writes Lucy Camden.
Lucy Camden.
Yeah.
I could never, because I was so paranoid. I can't ever I'm in trouble. It gives me a panic attack.
No, I'd be scared to death years after I got away with it, honestly.
Still to this day, yeah.
To this day, even thinking about it, thinking about cheating just is oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't do it.
The guilt is too much to bear.
Except for maybe, you know what? Actually, there was one test I did cheat on. That's a whole different, but that was also anatomy. And that was having to know the entire body and every muscle and every, at Stramenada. And I did cheat on that one.
Well, I'm glad you're not a doctor now.
How'd you cheat on the anatomy test, Bev?
How did I cheat?
How'd you cheat on the anatomy test? What's it?
Well, because how did I cheat? Because I had my book right open next to it, and when Cheryl walked away, and I was supposed to be taking the test
on set, you cheated.
On set, I just cheated. Right. Yeah, I cheated.
When you put it that way, I can't really say that I never cheated either. I mean, it was too easy sometimes.
Because also, that was an
Max,
impossible...
I did that shit all the time. It's cheating?
That's cheating? What?
Also, by the way, I'm not going to lie. I also shared it with my friends because I had the test early. And I was like, listen, this test is impossible. But I did also, because I'm me, I did tell them how many each one of them had to get wrong. Because it's you can't get them all right. Well, you have to do these ones.
That's
good.
Wrong. Because you prevented them from being
Because remember...
really
David,
dumb.
remember when you could have your notes for going into those tests? So I did do a bad thing. That was my bad thing.
Bev, you're even organized at cheating.
Yeah.
That's very funny, Bev.
I mean,
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I just felt as we're talking about America's Most Wanted, I wanted to share my bad thing that I did. I did. I've been holding it.
I've been holding it. That off her chest.
I have. I did. I needed to get it off my chest. Okay, chest. What am I talking about?
Off your chest.
I can't even talk now. I'm so flustered.
You had to get it off your test.
It's off.
I had to talk about my test to get it off my chest. Anyway, let's get back to the episode.
Matt gets caught.
Yes. By Eric.
Stealing a cup?
God, he's such a
That's what
martyr.
everyone
I had
thinks.
no idea what a martyr
Yeah.
Matt was repeatedly.
He is actually. It's one of the words I think you could use to describe Matt going into it. Particularly, maybe it's just a first season in particular thing.
No,
I don't know.
I think
I feel like it's a Matt thing across the board.
No,
Matt the martyr.
He always falls on the
martyrs,
sword.
Yeah.
He always is the one to fall on the sword.
Yeah,
He's
he
always
loves
the
to
one
fall
to
on
take
his
the
sword.
heat.
Loves it.
Yep.
Man.
He takes the heat.
Even when it's not that necessary, I think he does it anyway.
And I do think that the there was a good lesson in the fact that you get caught, you go back, you apologize, you say I did something wrong. And that was like the intention of like going back to the varsity, only for the manager to not accept it and say, listen, I'm going to press charges. Which, by the way, can you press charges for a $5 glass?
Apparently you could back then.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that falls under some kind of threshold these days.
Yeah.
For
small claims court.
For what's worthwhile to push through the system. For
Yeah.
what's worth getting a lawyer over.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't know that you can go to court for stealing the glass, but, you know, that is what we're dealing with because we needed to blow it up to make sure that it was a pretty.
It's the same court that
in my
handles
notes.
cheating on tests.
Uh-oh.
You guys, I wrote in my notes, Matt is going to glass jail. That's the note I took.
Oh my gosh. And then of course we come back and Lucy's pissed because Matt did not, because he was in jail or was he in jail? I don't know. He didn't drop off the refreshments for cheerleading and now her life is over because God forbid we didn't have any refreshments. Which by the way, when I was a cheerleader, we didn't get snacks and like refreshments that like moms and dads brought. So I don't know.
Do you want to talk, Bev, about your scene with Jess? We have the Lucy Mary double cry.
Yeah, the double.
Where you both are very upset.
Yes.
Well, this is because.
And then Mary says, "Well, I'm going to stop because you win the Who's Gonna Cry competition."
Well, but she also says, can you ever do anything on your own? Like, why if I'm crying now, you're crying.
Yeah.
If like, I'm going to quit now, you're going to quit. Like, why can't you just like figure it out?
But if Lucy catches you crying, she'll just cry harder and then you'll have to stop because that will feel bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, Lucy's always going to win the crying contest. Like there's just not. And by the way, I also love that Mary knows that. And Mary's like, all right, I'm out. Like,
exactly.
We're not going to do this anymore. And then also, like, Mary feels guilty because Matt's in trouble. Now, Lucy feels guilty because she cheated on the test. And Mary's like, that was dumb. Like, basically, like, calls her out, being like, you know, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? It's a sweet sister scene. I actually thought it was really cute. I think it landed better now for me than it did while we were doing it. I think it's actually...
all of your crying scenes, Bev, in this first season are solid. Like you were like the champ at those scenes for sure. Like without a doubt. Everyone else has one and sometimes they're okay and sometimes they're kind of but like yours are always solid.
Thank you. Apparently I am good at accessing that sadness. So I also thought it was cute how the scene ends because the phone rings and Lucy won't let Mary answer it. And the reason is because she knows or she thinks it's Dwight calling. And I wrote in my notes, I was like, the joy of a landline when you don't know who's calling. Like, and like when it was that kind of like roulette of whether you pick up or not, and who is on the other line. You know,
the mystery.
Something our kids will never understand. They don't know what a landline is. They don't know what's like connected to the wall. I
can't even imagine answering the phone without knowing who's calling right now.
I know, and we did it all the time.
I rarely answer when I do know who's calling. So I can't.
I do remember
part of life's little surprises. Just hello.
Yeah, I know. When it was a question.
Oh, it's not for me.
Why do we still say hello instead of like, hey, Joe? You know, like we always know who it is, but we still answer the call as if we don't.
I know. Do you remember like when caller ID came through and like how cool caller ID was? But then you could also block caller ID.
That's right. Yeah.
Gosh, the landline. Whoa.
The landline. Yeah.
R.I.P. the landline.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a thing. It's a tangent, but I did see that there's a thing that Shauna showed me that it's a little landline.
Yep.
For your kid.
Yep. I saw that.
And then you can assign which numbers can call it.
Yep, I saw that.
So that them and their friends can have a little landline in their room. And I was
that's
cool. Actually really cool.
It is really cute. I saw that and I was like, that's a really clever idea.
I thought it was very clever as well.
There's no access to
to
like
anything.
on
There's
like
no
on the
apps,
smartphone.
there's no internet,
no,
there's
it's
no
just
nothing.
the phone.
And you as the parent have control of what
Who
other
calls.
little landlines they can call each other. So they can call their friends, but no one else.
Yep.
I love that.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it's a very cute thing I just saw. It was really,
I saw
Shauna and I thought
it
it was awesome.
It was made by a parent, and I thought that was really cute. Okay, back to the episode.
Yes.
Matt is arrested for petty larceny. I also said, like, Matt's just the best big brother. Like, again, he falls on the sword for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly for Mary. I think he does it more for Mary than he does for anybody else.
Well, Mary needs it more, but yes.
Yeah.
He does it for all of us at some point.
That's true. And I love that Matt kind of comes in, and Mary was just the big sister to Lucy now. Gosh, I have a frog in my throat. And now Matt is being the big sister to Mary. And Mary kind of stating that she wanted to quit. And he's like, after all this, now you're going to quit? Like, now, no, you can't quit. And her stating the fact that she hated feeling that she had to steal to fit in. And now she's not going to quit because she can't let them win.
Yeah.
But I also think that this is a big moment on peer pressure, on this realization.
This whole thing,
that you have to do what everyone else does so that you can be like everyone else. And I guess it's weird now being an adult and having kids and having to like discuss this peer pressure. Because on one side you're like, well, just don't do it. But then on the other side, you're like, oh, but I remember what it was like to long to be a part of that group.
Or to fear being ostracized for not being cool enough to do the thing or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a good choice too, by the way, just as like for structure-wise for the show, that they chose to do the peer pressure storyline with Mary, who is the cool kid amongst us. Totally. Like Mary's the cool one, and she still succumbs to some peer pressure at school, that it's not something that you feel if you're just like trying to be cool. It's something you feel even if you are cool.
Yeah, which would typically fall in the lap of Lucy if you were like guessing a character who would succumb to
have
peer
this
pressure
issue,
because she always wants to fit in.
Exactly,
but it is nice that it is Mary, and that the fact that she is the strong one, she is the confident one, she is the accomplished one, she's all these things, but yet she
still caves.
And now not only is Matt in trouble, Mary's feeling guilty, and now Keisha, the Hamilton kids, are also in trouble.
Yes, they get in trouble as well.
And Reverend Hamilton says you don't go along with friends knowing that they're gonna do something bad. Like, that's not a good friend. And that was also I'm like, wow, that's like actually like a really good parenting thing. Like, if you know someone has intentions of kind of like trying to do something they shouldn't do, and you know better, don't go along for the ride and support them through that. Try to talk them out of it, kind of situation. So that's why they get in trouble, because now at this point he sees them just as guilty as Mary for stealing the glass, because they were in the getaway car.
They were all complicit.
Yeah.
And then Annie
is another great parenting point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, speaking of great parenting, Annie then reads Lucy's paper and immediately recognizes the plagiarism that is on display, which I was like, wow, I actually thought to myself, like, I wonder if I would notice, you know, like if a year after, if my kid a year later like copied a paper, would I even notice? And I don't know that the answer is yes.
I mean, that there's two kinds of kids. There's like the kids that like kind of like review their papers with their parents, and then there's those that just turn it in. I feel like also that like Mary would have needed help with the crucible.
Oh, but well, I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, maybe Annie was there to help Mary with her paper, and that's why she remembers it so well, or something like that. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Because Mary's not like established to be very as studious as Lucy is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that works. I like that.
That's where I was going with it.
Okay.
And also, I love like this scene because Lucy like doesn't even try to. She owns it right away. Yeah, she screwed up. She's trying to do too much. It's funny when they're talking about juggling the boyfriend and Dwight. And that I just wrote, Lucy loves love, and she loves to be liked even by Dwight. Because, like, the fact that, like, this is part of the problem that she can't get her paper done, I thought was, like, interesting
also,
and funny.
I love that Jimmy Moon's like character and fandom is so strong that they had to immediately give him a sidekick. He immediately was given a sidekick, which I had forgotten about until these rewatches, and I feel like it was well deserved.
A sidekick that is also trying to steal his girl.
Yeah, and that they both and like it's not a secret. Like he tells Jimmy Moon, like, I like your girl, bro. I'm gonna steal your girl, and he's like, you can't steal
and
my
they're
girl.
still
Like
best
they
friends,
literally are like, try me, bro. You know, it's so awkward and cute and like and like unique, I guess, in like this kind of in the way that we normally tell these high school stories. It is so awkward and cute and unique.
Well, and it's also funny just because it is true that like middle school romance is just so weird. It's like, I like you, you like me. Okay, are we dating? And like you even ask them, they're like, what does that mean? They're like, they don't know. So like this whole thing, like you're my boyfriend, you're my friend, like it's just like so funny. It cracks me up, especially now that I've got a middle schooler. I'm like, ah. But moving on, because the cutest thing is Ruthie trying to learn the Star-Spangled Banner.
That's right.
I feel like there's such heaviness in the episode and such like downfalls, like having these cute moments with you, Mack, and David, like is just so sweet.
And this is one of those classic, like me and Mack are the tag team to lighten it up. And especially in the early days of the episodes, I mean, we had this job all the time where like they would cut back to us and we would be getting into trouble or doing something cute and arguing with each other about it. And I do enjoy the kind of like the brotherly sisterly love that we have, that we're like, I'm always looking out for you and watching you and like protecting you, but then we're also always bickering. And it's fun. It's very cute and relatable.
Yeah.
I also need to mention that like I love your stuff, Mack, too, because it was very early on that they were able to write specifically for you, because you didn't do like, not everything was cutesy. Like a lot of actors, like a lot of young actors would do everything as like being super cute. You had sarcasm. You were funny because like you always had this like, there was a wisdom to Ruthie in everything that she said, and like her comebacks with Simon, that it was so cute to watch you keep him on his toes. You know, it wasn't just
the writing was good.
There was so much more. It was just very sweet, very fun, and also like now knowing your kind of who you are and like the way you talk and the like your humor, it's funny to kind of see that there were elements that were starting to come in the writing even back then, of just your sarcasm and your kind of your quick wit and intelligence. I think
while we've been rewatching these episodes together, more than once, we would be watching a little Simon and Ruthie scene or whatever, and Shauna would be like, Max still makes that face. There was like a couple of your reactions, and Shauna's like, I've seen that face. Max makes that face now. Look at it.
I did notice
Max
that
still does that.
At the end of when I sing that Star-Spangled Banner song and I go like this.
Totally a Mac face.
I totally did that. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. It is amazing. It's amazing to see an even littler you making the same faces with the same sass. It's amazing.
What's really going to be trippy is when Ophelia starts making those faces and you're going to be like, what is happening?
I know. Dude, her hair,
which is so fun,
is like,
well,
looking like my hair after I got out of the chair.
Oh yeah.
Right now we're.
I know. I also mentioned, I think in my notes, I was like, wow, those curls are tight. Like this episode, your curls were tighter than normal. Like, you had to sit in that chair a lot longer, I think, because those were real tight curls.
I know. I have the burns to prove it.
I know. Because for all of you who don't know, like, Mack's hair was not naturally that curly. So those were each
it's
curl
also
was
for
made by a
continuity.
curling
Like,
iron.
it was really curly,
100%.
but curls are different every single day it dries. So even if you have the curliest hair, it's got to be curled. Well, at least that's what they told me.
That's what they told you.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, no, but they weren't like that. Actually, Ophelia's are more like that than I think mine were. I don't know. I had, like, more light socket curls, I think.
Never had curly hair, so I don't know. And I also love, we have the great Dorian Harewood, who plays Reverend Hamilton. And I also love, which I wish we had done more, I love that Matt can't talk to Eric. And it's also, I would say, the first introduction to this relationship of that there is a little bit of tension between Eric and Matt, and I think it's been building through the season.
Yeah.
And Eric's so pushy, too.
Eric is always quick to blame Matt. And I think also, I guess I didn't realize that pressure of the firstborn. Also, one, I'm an only child, so I've never really experienced it. But now seeing it with Kenzie.
You're the first and the youngest.
I'm the first, the youngest, the middle. I'm all of them. But you are kind of harder on the firstborn because there's like more expectations. There's David, you know better than
I do know. And also I see it now in myself with my two, because now I have Fern, my little baby, and I have Lily, who's now do on big sister duty and stuff. And I can already see that the tendency to be harder on Lily about stuff than is necessary, and or having that higher standard of expectation for no apparent reason. Yeah.
Interesting.
Same. And I see that with Kenzie, but I think watching the episode and seeing it with Matt, I never that never clicked for me until now, of how hard Eric is on Matt, the expectations, the demands. And I think there's a point where like Matt's like, I'm a good kid, trust that I'm a good kid. And Eric just doesn't and is so hard on him. So Matt goes to talk to Reverend Hamilton because he can't talk to his dad. And I think that was also interesting.
And a wise choice.
Very wise choice.
Yeah. It's not like he goes to get advice in the wrong places.
No, he goes to the right place. He has
an excellent backup choice.
Totally.
For parental advice, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then we have Lucy makes a confession to the teacher. The teacher takes it quite well, which is probably not
Lucy
of our experience.
What's cool about this is that there's two instances of like coming clean, right?
We needed that
with doing something wrong, and the show gives you both outcomes. Because when you come clean about something, yes, you are doing the right thing, but you're still admitting that you did the wrong thing first.
True.
And so there's the like, I don't care that you came clean. There's going to be consequences, and the thank you for coming clean. I'll give you a second chance. Right. And so Lucy gets that from her teacher, like, who is just so relieved to have some honesty in her classroom, a student who doesn't need to be caught, who admits to the wrongdoing, and she gives you that second chance. Whereas in the situation with Matt and the varsity and the cup, he just goes, I'm pressing charges, like, immediately. And takes it to the highest level of consequence.
Well, and I think I even wrote, I said, the real question is, where do you draw the line when you want to make an example, but also you have to like acknowledge that when someone is doing the right thing, just like you said, David. I think that there is a lesson there. I wrote the puppies because we did get to see the puppies. That was something that like we got to continue from the episode before.
And those were the ones that were your friend's puppies, right? Not the little bitty puppies. Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember some of them being puppies.
Well, I think it was them. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I mean, it was definitely two sets of puppies for sure, but
true. Yeah.
Well, next up we have the scene where where Ruthie and Simon finally learn the story behind the national anthem from their babysitter,
which is actually
who tells a great story.
Great story.
You know
I
what's
actually
cool?
really enjoyed that.
It's like I've been, I live in that area now, and so I've like been on boats like numerous times, sailing, like going right by Fort McHenry, and like I don't know, I get to like actually picture that in real life now.
I thought it was really fun because I don't remember this from the episode, but when I was watching, I was like, that's really cool. Like to like have the basis of what the Star-Spangled Banner means.
I thought the
other
guy
than
was
it
in a
being our
jail
national
cell
anthem.
watching it through the. No, but like he was watching it like through some window. I guess it was a ship or something. But it is neat.
Well, according to Seventh Heaven, that's what it was, and so I'm going to go with that.
They've taken the episode's gag, right, and they turned it into, like we like to do, a proper lesson, something you could walk away from and go, "Huh, cool, I learned something." And so even our little gag has this kind of like satisfying payoff at the end, where we learn the historical we learn the historical circumstance behind the writing of our national anthem, which is a cool little thing to throw in there to give it some weight and some purpose.
And also, by the way, I also love the way she's teaching you, because it is easier to remember when there's a story to be told versus just words to be said. So that it's much easier to memorize that way. So I thought that was great. Then we go back to Matt in court, and
That's right.
I love
we have the court scene. Yeah,
we have Matt feeling that Eric is always writing him so hard, and he feels like that Eric is always mad at him. And there's a moment where I think this is actually interesting, because oftentimes our episodes were very like kind of singular, but this is actually a setup for our next episode. I only know this because I accidentally watched the wrong one, which is that Eric kind of always felt this pressure and this anger from his father, and he didn't realize that he is basically repeating the pattern of how he was treated, and he's still angry about it, but yet he's doing this to Matt, and Matt calls it out.
Yeah.
And also says, like, I have something to tell you, but I cannot tell you now. We all know what that is, but Eric still has no idea. I remember actually this courthouse was in Playa Vista. It was down in the big hangars that used to be, well, now Playa Vista is like huge and like completely like built out. But
was
at
it
the
like
time,
Santa Monica Airport hangars or?
No. Playa Vista, like literally underneath LMU.
Yeah, okay.
It was right there. It was there used to be big airplanes down there, and I just remember, I don't know why it's one of the few times that we shot at night, probably because it's the only time we could get the stage to be in a courthouse. And I remember the smell of it. I remember everything. And I also just remember there's so many of us. This court, we had so many extras.
Yeah.
And we have all these extras.
Because the entire school team shows up.
Yeah, because Mary finally admits, like when Matt's in trouble, Mary finally admits that it was her and she can't let this go on anymore. And then thank you, Reverend Hamilton, because
Morgan's
this is all Reverend Hamilton's hero. He's the hero moment where the entire school brings in all the things that they stole from the Varsity. I also have it noted that the first few people are football players in full pads and in full uniform walking into the court.
They showed
and
up.
I was like,
they went to the locker room and
in
psyched themselves out
uniform?
for the court.
But yes, they were
That's
in
how they
full
were.
uniform.
They were like, "How do we?"
The only way you would know they were the football team.
Now?
Okay,
that's
the football
that's
team's
exactly.
gonna show
I think
up
that's
with their
what it was.
helmets on.
They may have had helmets. I don't know, but it was like the one thing I noted was like, "Oh my gosh, they're walking in full uniform. What is happening?" Because it's like
funny.
Also the entire courtroom is filled with kids who have stolen things from the Varsity. Again, this is all from Reverend Hamilton, who basically put it all together because he's the one who knew. He's the one who knew from the get-go. He's like, I know Matt didn't steal this. You kids are in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how to make this right. Mary's the one who did it.
I know this is a sports team thing, and I know Matt doesn't play sports. So he's
Right.
he's keen to it right away, yeah.
Yeah, and then he also knows, he's like, I also know I do the sports banquet. I know that what these kids do because it looks like the Varsity store.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, also, if that was the case, why wasn't it called out earlier? Anyway, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, open secret.
was waiting for
It's
an
open
episode.
secret.
Yeah, they were waiting for a teachable moment.
Yeah.
And of course, Eric suggests that, maybe there's some kids that will help, do some dishes and clean some things to make up for their poor choices. And of course, all the charges get dropped.
Yes, we get our victory.
We get our victory.
And it's, I don't know, it's a relief, I guess, that given the drama of the circumstance over a cup, but then we all come back together as a family, and I have in my notes, I think we've heard all the confessions we can deal with today, Luce. Lucy just wants to just keep the confessions flowing.
What else was I
okay?
confessing?
It feels really good to let it off your chest.
What else did I confess?
I don't know. I think you're talking about your paper.
Again?
But it's but you're told to to
Just
chill out. We're done.
chill.
This episode's over, Lucy, please.
You know what? And honestly, I feel that in my life, and I feel that for Lucy. I feel like the problem is she's an oversharer. She just, she really.
Well, you just get into it. Whatever's happening, you're really into it, and it's confessing right now.
Yeah, I mean,
she's passionate.
I guess Lucy and Beverly are alike in the fact that I also just aired out some dirty laundry too. So
that's right. Can we could just
I know. There's actually, there should be a mute button here. I mean, we do have remote access that we should just just cut off the mic.
And then we end the episode with the big payoff for our gag, where Ruthie sings for everybody the national anthem, which is adorable, as adorable as it should be, and that with pride we fade to black. That's the end, the tie up.
And this is one of those episodes. This is a standout episode that a lot of people remember, that a lot of people talk about, and it was fun to rewatch because it's there was so much more to it than what I remembered.
Yeah, true.
I had no teeth in this episode.
You had what?
No teeth.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's what happens when you're 6.
Yeah.
You didn't have a flipper.
No, I do remember it being discussed. Did either of you ever work with a flipper?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I had flippers. Lots of them. And
Yep.
for anyone who doesn't know what a flipper is, it's basically a retainer with fake teeth that can fill in the gap of if you've lost a tooth. So that way you could always have perfect teeth, because sometimes you'd lose the 2 front teeth and then you talk funny and they don't want it's really hard to work.
And I had to sing without any teeth.
Fake teeth.
Oh,
and then
When I made Look Who's Talking Now, when I was 8 years old, the first film that I was in, I booked the film and I lost my 2 front teeth.
Oh man!
And so for most of the movie, I'm wearing a flipper, and for my 2 front teeth. And
I have a friend who
I remember, huh?
How uncomfortable is it? I have a friend who had one actually as an adult
a retainer.
for having his teeth knocked
It's
out,
just-
but he never wore it.
It's like a retainer, but it's weird though because sometimes your tongue tries to play with it.
He only wore it for weddings and funerals.
What?
The flipper, because it was uncomfortable.
Oh. Oh my God.
Anyway.
Well, on that note, I think that is a perfectly good wrap up of America's Most
Got
Wanted,
Talent.
episode 13. What'd you say?
I said, got talent.
Oh, America's Got Talent. America's Most Wanted, episode 13, season 1. You guys were doing it. We are slowly cranking through these rewatches. We only have 200.
It's only going to take us
230 more to go. Don't you worry about a thing.
If I go on America's Got Talent, do you think I should sing the Star-Spangled Banner? Because
I think you should.
That might be a unique talent, according to Eric. Just saying. Okay.
This has been Catching Up with the Camdens. This was the rewatch for America's Most Wanted. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all the things. And thank you guys for coming along. We are going to crank through season 1. We can do it, you guys. We can do it.
Hey guys, check us out on Patreon for early access to Catching Up with the Camdens episodes, exclusive group and individual content, access to all 3 of us via chat, and more.